How do we handle an ungodly government?
Well, this is interesting because when I read the question, I was actually immediately drawn to Peter. Peter also says, submit to your government for the sake of the Lord Jesus Christ. And so we have to be careful, but there is also a time where you have to stand and you say, no, this goes against the laws of the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
You see in Daniel, the only time that Daniel opposes the law of the land is when he's told to bow down to an idol and is no longer allowed to pray. As soon as they're told to bow down to an idol, no. You've now crossed the line between my relationship with God. And I've been told by my God, no, I must stand for this. And I think when we see Daniel, we see that what happens is they don't come barraging doors down or, parading or, these are our rights. So I think what happens here is when we just obey, we humble ourselves, we don't make a racket, we don't make a noise in the context of, we're not saying that we don't address things that are wrong, but there are ways to go about it. If there's something that's wrong, many people will scream and shout and kick their toys off and run to Instagram and run to Facebook. No, run to your prayer closet because like Paul said, the least you can do is pray and the most you can do is pray.
Wow.
But then there is also a time where we must stand. And I think what we've done, particularly in the COVID period, we say that many of us didn't stand when we should have stood and stood when we shouldn't have stood. And I think, again, coming back to the Bible, in Acts it says, there's an appropriate time to obey God and not obey man, and there's an appropriate time to obey man in obedience to God. So that's what I would say.
And he says this in verse 7, give everyone what you owe him, taxes, revenue, respect, honor, let no debt remain outstanding except the continuing debt to love one another.